right, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, May 25th. Markets are up a crap ton, to say the least. The S&P 500 currently up by 0.75%, and we're seeing the Qs today up to new yearly highs at almost $340, and this is following NVIDIA's earnings yesterday, if you are living under a rock. NVIDIA posted really good earnings beat on earnings per share, beat on revenue, and they guided really high for their next quarter. $11 billion in revenue is what they're expecting next quarter, and the highest that they've ever done is $8 billion, so really high expectations for their next quarter earnings, which has sent their stock up by roughly about 25%. We got so close to the 400 mark. 399.50 yesterday. I think we hit a high of 395. So it's kind of just teasing us with that 400 level. But right now it's trading at $388.35. This has led all the other AI names. Microsoft to gap up. You're seeing Meta gapping up. And then what's the other name? Google, the other big AI name. All these three stocks are gapping up. So of course, QQQ is following along with that and reaching a new high, like I said. So, two scenarios could play out. Either we're going to get a bunch of people FOMOing into NVIDIA, Google, Microsoft, or you're going to see them maybe starting to fill the gap that they created overnight, which would be pretty substantial for Microsoft. That's about $10. Or about 3% that it would need to fall. For Goog, it's up to 126 from 121, so about $5 that it would have to lose. 5 over 121, it would have to drop about 4%. So there's a lot that needs to be done in order to fill those gaps. So my guess, we're probably just going to FOMO into Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA this morning. Good morning. Lost a ton on NVIDIA. Oh, man. That's tough. Yeah, I got out of my NVIDIA trade. I had a neutral trade on it with a, what is it, a double diagonal, which is kind of like an iron condor, not really. And I ended up closing that for like a $30 profit right before the bell because I did not want to face that smoke. Luckily for me, that ended up in profit, but yeah, NVIDIA's just up 25%. Insane. Google still up by 3%. Amazon's actually pulling back. The leader of yesterday is today's lagger at the moment, down to 116. I do still have my puts from yesterday. If we do get a decent pullback for the big tech names and fill that gap down, that would be pretty good for this Amazon position. But let's see. So the three big names to focus on today, I would say, would be NVIDIA, Google, Microsoft. So either, again, you're going to fill the gap down. Not sure how long it would take to fill the gap down. Or you're just going to FOMO right into it. Why is Intel not up like the rest of the chip names? They don't mention artificial intelligence enough. Although AMD really doesn't mention artificial intelligence that much either. But their stock is up by 10%. Intel is just not a sexy chip maker name anymore. That's the only thing that I could really think of. With Intel, it's down by 4%. Jesus Christ. Yikes. But yeah, it's all about buying into the hype, and Intel just doesn't have that. They don't have the hype behind them like NVIDIA and AMD do. What's Warren Buffett's old saying? In the short term, the stock market is a popularity contest. $49.99. Hello, Carrie. Thank you for that. Trying to get a DM. Yeah, I'll text you over on Twitter. Twitter's probably the best way to reach me. Sometimes I just don't reply. But yeah, I'll message you over there. Let's see. Amazon's definitely pulling back here, 115.84. You got the supports at 115, roughly 114.76 too. Discord is also a good way to reach me. The Discord link, it's probably the best way. Although with Discord's new messaging system, it's been kind of rough. The whole you have to accept the message request is kind of dumb, but Discord won't let you. That's strange. Yeah, I'll message on Twitter. Lost a ton on NVDA. Yeah, let's see. So NVIDIA is pulling back a bit, down to 375. It's still up like 22%. Google still up by 2.8, and Microsoft looks like it wants to bring it down and fill that gap. This one looks most likely to fill the gap so far today. The gap is down to 313. Kind of thinking about going with a long expiration and doing a out of the money put on Microsoft. It's already dropped by like $4, so it's not going to be as cheap of a trade as it would have been if I opened it earlier. But right now, the 315 puts are going for 455. So kind of expensive for the June 16th puts. All the overnights are going to take their profits, and institutions will start buying once they hit support levels. Yeah, it's possible. You still need to see NVIDIA pull back a lot more in order to see these gap fills. I would think you would need to see NVIDIA down to like 350 or so if you want to get Google and Microsoft back down a decent bit. Which is another $25. It's possible, but we'll have to see how it shakes out this morning. There is a shit ton of volume, though. In this first 5 minutes, there's been how many shares? 9 million shares traded in the first 5 minutes of the market. Damn. All right, they're dropping the price on the Microsoft puts that I'm looking for to fill in that gap down to 315. Looks like it is getting a little bit of support here. Currently at 42 for RSI. So a little bit bearish, but not too much. For the hourly chart, it's still at 62. So looking bullish on that time frame. And then if we go to the daily chart, this one's almost overbought at 67 at the moment. I could also maybe turn it into a put debit spread to bring down the cost. It only cost 90 for 160 in profit. But with spread options, you don't get as much of the profit as you would with just a regular long put. you don't get it as quickly. At least you have to wait until closer to the expiration date, or the stock just has to be significantly below your strike price for that to make you a profit. But yeah, Nvidia's down to 370 now. Again, I wouldn't expect Microsoft, Google to fill in their gap until you see Nvidia back to like 350 or so. And it's still about $20 away. Google seems to be accelerating a little bit here off the jump. And Microsoft is slowing down. So probably some profit taking going on, at least for Nvidia right now. Maybe we could go higher with our strike price, but then we do have to pay more for it. Let's see. Putting up 450 is still a lot. If we go with a 317.50, you're only paying $80 more. That's not too bad. What's the delta for it? 38. Okay. Google is looking like the better one of these, actually. Just with momentum. It would be a quicker trade, at least. Microsoft's losing its momentum to the downside. All right. Yeah, I think I'll get that 315 put June 16th. Oh man, they already jacked up the prices to 460 from 450. So an extra $10 we'll have to pay for it. Let's see if I can get it for at least 455 instead of 460. The better the price, the less I have to lose, so. Google and Microsoft didn't spike that much. Just went back to 2-week highs. Don't see them pulling back much. Well, the reason why they're at all-time highs or 2-week highs is because of NVIDIA. So if NVIDIA pulls back, that's going to bring those two names back down. And Google has kind of been one of the laggers lately. It hasn't been doing as well as the other big tech names. So it's a little bit better of an opportunity in terms of the lack of momentum. But you're looking at being overbought almost in RSI for the hourly chart and the daily chart. So pullback could be decently warranted. see. The Qs is up by 1.8%. Earlier it was up by, I believe, 2. So this one's pulling back to that 337 level again. Gaining support on the first try. And that 337 level, let's see where that's coming from. It's coming from a monthly high, I believe. Previous monthly high. Yeah, so watch out for the 337. Right now we're at 337.65. So I would imagine that that'll be your support today. If we remain bullish on NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, I would think that we would stay above 337 for Qs. Google is still kind of losing it, though. Interesting enough. Microsoft's hanging in there after the big drop in the first 5 minutes. If I want to trade momentum, Google's definitely the way to go. Let's see. And the gap here is 121. So that one doesn't have as much room that it needs to fall to fill the gap. And those contracts are a lot cheaper at 215 versus 450, just because Microsoft's a much more expensive stock. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to pick up these Googs. They're going for 215 right now. Let me see if I might be able to snag them at a cheaper price. The 121 puts for June. Going for 220 at the moment. I'll pull them up on the right side. Yesterday, these were going for like 290. So if it does end up filling that gap, these have about $100. Wait a minute. That's not right. 290 minus 220. They have about $70 to gain. They're going for 225 right now. Be nice to get them at 215 or lower. Or we could wait on a pullback if it comes back into the high 124s. But yeah, momentum's definitely not looking good for the 5-minute chart. For the hourly chart, going back to 50 for RSI. All right, there goes Amazon losing that 116 level again. So let's keep watching Goog. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them cheaper than 220. All right, Microsoft is shaping to the downside now, but kind of trading in a range after that first 5-minute candle, whereas Google definitely has that momentum. 2 NVDA calls for 48, just sold them for $8. Jesus Christ. Which strike price did you choose for those? Like, you could have bought like a $350 call on a video when it was trading at 300 yesterday and made so much fucking money on it. It's crazy. Crazy how much NVIDIA went up. Totally unexpected. The expected move was like 6%. And it moved 25, which is just absolutely insane. All thanks to that revenue guidance being so high. All right, yeah, there goes Google. Down at 30 RSI, so getting oversold. Microsoft's getting there. And the 315 puts are going for 470 at the moment. $465 actually. All right, I think I'll take that. Let's see, 460. All right, I think I'll place an order in for 460 on the 315 Microsoft puts. They just moved the ask up. All right, I guess I'll pay the extra $5. There we go. All right. Post that in the trades. New options alert. Premiums. Just opened a new Microsoft 315. Right, 315. Put expiring June 16th at 460. $465 actually. It's right at the 320 level. So that could be our support. But yeah, following momentum, this is definitely looking bearish. 30 on the RSI. for the hourly chart, you're still at 56, so it's still slightly bullish there. How them Qs looking? Let's see. Qs is still up by 1.65. It is pulling back, but still has that support right at 337 right now. Yeah, it looks like Microsoft just got that support at 322. Still got a lot of time on the trade, so that'll be helpful. Amazon's just slowly kind of losing value here. It's at 36 RSI for the 5-minute chart. For the hourly, it's just below 50, 44 right now, so that's bearish, which is good for my put position. But there is a lot of support right at 115, so got to see a blow past that. Thoughts on Upstart? Holding 25. Let's see. In the first hour of trading, it went from almost 70, 65 to 40. So a lot of bearish momentum in this first hour of trading. RSI is very oversold right now. So for me, I probably wouldn't want to be in any long positions just because you're going against short-term momentum. In terms of the hourly chart, it's kind of elevated. It's kind of up there after the earnings of 47 cents. So this is kind of looking like a topping pattern to me. You had the RSI going overbought for a short period of time. You do have supports at about 24.50. So if you assume that it's going to stay above that, you could be okay with it. But 25, I would say, is way too close. PayPal is dropping even more. God. When does the stock stop dropping? $60.68. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Do I think Qs will go below 334? I would say it's going to have a hard time passing 337. So 334, that would be a stretch. But it's really going to depend on what the three big gainers today are doing. If you're looking at NVDA, this one's up 24%. So obviously that's having a huge impact on the NASDAQ. That's like $200 billion that they added in market cap. And then Microsoft and Google are kind of catching the tailwind of that, with both of those up about 2%. So you're going to need those three names to see a decent pullback in order to get the Qs below that 337 level. Until then, I don't think that we're going to fall down to 334. You would have to probably see Microsoft and Google fill in the gap by the end of the day, I would think, in order to get 334 today. Damn, Tesla was doing pretty well in the after hours in the pre-market, but couldn't pass up that 188 resistance. Wish I'd got a 188, 189 call credit spread for it, but didn't see that opportunity. Didn't see it soon enough. The VIX is down by 4% today. Going short VIXy would have been a really good idea. When it was above 20. It doesn't usually like to hang above 18. Still at 19 right now, 19.21. So there could still be a decent short opportunity in it. Maybe over the weekend if we get a debt ceiling solution. That would be a good trade. Let's see. Yeah, looks like Microsoft's kind of forming some supports at 320 right now. Google's still dropping. And NVDA still trading at $380, up 25%. Crazy, crazy day for NVIDIA. Amazon's down 1% today. Kind of surprised that Amazon would be down with all the other AI names up so much. What's interesting is that Amazon actually sees AWS declining over the next couple of quarters, whereas NVIDIA, on the other hand, expects their data center sales to go up. So you have conflicting views between Amazon and NVIDIA. So one of them is wrong. I'm not sure which one, or probably it's going to be somewhere in the middle. SPY actually went below that 413.50 level that we ended up squeezing before. And that's going to be your resistance for SPY today, I guess. You might have SPY just chopping in the range between maybe 412, 413.50. But the Qs is giving it a good lift. With it staying above 337 as of right now. And Google just can't catch any buyers, it seems like, yet. Yeah, McCarthy's been saying that. I'll believe it when I see it. Because the negotiators for the Republican Party are saying the opposite, and they're super far apart. Not close to getting a deal done. Yeah, I think Microsoft is actually probably one of the leaders just because they have OpenAI. And the buyout that they did for GPT will definitely serve them well. I don't know about, Bing making a revival, but definitely some tailwinds for Microsoft. I would say that they're one of the leaders for AI at the moment. NVDA, they're just kind of I would say they're the gold miner of the AI hype or AI movement. Because you got to come up with the processing power somehow. Yeah, Amazon Meta hopped on the bandwagon. Yeah, probably. That's exactly what old Zuckerberg likes to do. Take ideas. Do I think a debt ceiling resolution would send SPY back to 419, 420 by tomorrow? 419, 420 would be a pretty decent rise. You'd have to go up $7. I think what really matters for SPY is getting above 413.50 and then 416, 417. And I would think that even if you do get the debt ceiling passed tomorrow, which I would say is unlikely, probably would be later, I don't think that we're going to go back above 417. I would not want to go against momentum for PayPal right now. If you think that it's a good deal, then yeah, leaps would be fitting. But at the same time, like, PayPal's trading at 52-week lows. It's not a good stock right now. People just don't like it for whatever reason, even after Really good earnings. It's super cheap, yeah. It's at 32 RSI. But momentum is just not looking pretty for the stock. Well, it looks like Microsoft got some buyers. Let's see what Google still hasn't got a buyer yet. But yeah, Microsoft kind of making a V-shape recovery, or like a U-shape, I should say. $50 on the RSI, so shaping up to be a little bit bullish. Let's see what my theta is for these options. 13 theta, so about $14 a day that I would lose. Probably a couple days until we see part of this gap down filled to 315, I would think. So, it looks like Amazon just lost 115.25. Down 1.25% now. Meta's losing it too. Only up by 0.25%. From 254 to 250 this morning, a $4 drop. T is getting close to a 5-year. What was that, 5-year low? Damn. Yeah. I was talking about T yesterday and why I don't think that it's a great investment. The dividend yield is, 7% or something, when you can get 5% from T-bills or a money market fund right now. So it just makes it less attractive to buy into, given that it's a stock and, you incur risk by buying into equities. The stock value can drop, so more people are interested in buying into T-bills and putting their money into money market funds than they are in buying dividend stocks for the moment. All right, Amazon might be about to lose the 115 level. That could cause a decent squeeze to the downside. Yesterday, that was your support right off the jump in the morning. Your low was 115. So let's see if we end up breaking. Microsoft's going the other way at 322. We just blew past 115 for Amazon. My puts are up by $80. Next support would be 114.76. Yeah, that could be it. And then other things like Klarna and all the other buy now, pay later services that are available now. Probably eating PayPal's lunch. Man, Amazon, Tesla are the only two in the red today. Q still has that 337 level right now. Just hanging on for dear life there. The VIX is actually headed higher right now. A little bit. Looks like SPY ended up getting rejected at 413.50. But my guess, if we see the Q still kind of hanging around the 337 mark, you're just going to be between 412, 413.50 by the end of the day. It is looking a little bit more bearish, right below 40 for RSI. McCarthy says he's not going to give up. Stay with it until we solve the Democrats' spending addiction. And that's a bipartisan issue. The government overall has a spending addiction. It's not one side or the other. All right, Amazon just lost 114.75. Probably gonna trade around this level for a minute here, but yeah, we're looking very bearish on RSI. And if we get a breakthrough at 114.75 where we bounced before, this could be pretty bad on Amazon. It's already down by 1.7%, so decent drop. Next support level that I've got is all the way down at 110.50. You do have some lows closer to 114 though from the past week of trading. 114.50. There should be some support between 114.50 and 114, but very bloody sell-off for Amazon. Especially after crossing 115, that kind of squeezed us down. My puts are up 125 right now. Bought it for 400. They're going for 525, 530. It's down by 2% today. And I only have, I think, till next week's expiration, so I'll probably exit this pretty soon. Looks like we supported at 114.30 or so. All right, I'm going to sell them for 5. Got out there. 500 a piece. That was 100 profit. Closing options alert. Premium. Just took profits on the Amazon put expiring next Friday, 6/2 at 5. Strike price that I chose was 119. Man, Google is still dropping, but Microsoft not feeling the same pain. NVDA is trading at 380, still up 24.5%, so still doing really well there. But we are seeing a few names in the NASDAQ pulling back. Apple really hasn't been doing much as of lately. They're not part of the AI mania that we've been seeing. And we just lost 337 for Qs. RSI is at 34, so that's looking like a decent short position here. Do I expect SPY to come down tomorrow? Let's see. SPY is trading at 412.50 at the moment. My guess, you're probably going to stay above 410 again. Similar to yesterday, where we went just barely below it, 409.88. If we don't have any resolution for the debt limit by end of day tomorrow, yeah, I think we could sell off then. But getting below 410 would be a stretch, I would think. If you're going to expect SPY below 410, I probably wouldn't expect that till like late next week, like Thursday, Friday. Which platform am I using? Thinkorswim for the charts, and then Robinhood in order to execute the trades. Accidentally opened another position. RIP. Alright, hold on. I got a call about my car. Give me 1 second. Sweet. Finally getting my car back after being in the shop for like 6 weeks. Alright. So, not really seeing much action on Microsoft. Google is definitely getting the action. It's down by 1.3%. Microsoft still up by 2.5%. It had that support of 320 that it ended up bouncing from. But just kind of stalling out in the high 321s at the moment. What kind of car? Hyundai Sonata. Somebody busted my window, so had to get it replaced. And it took like 2-3 weeks to get the parts in for it. Terrible. Yeah, we're just kind of flattening out around that 327 mark for the Qs. Between 30 and 40 RSI, so it is looking a little bit more bearish than it is bullish. But that 337 level has been hard to crack, at least so far this morning. No Lambo. No. Maybe if I had bought NVIDIA calls, I would have a Lambo now. Imagine people who bought 145 NVIDIA calls at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Well, if they held that, because those options would be up God knows how fucking much. It would be hard to hold psychologically if you're up thousands of percents. They probably got like 10 Lambos in their garage. Here in my garage. Alright, well, if we're following the trend today, I think puts for Qs could be a good trade. Each time we're going to about 45 for RSI. Actually haven't set much of a trend yet, but last time we were at 45 RSI, it sold off, so could get in here, maybe sell off to 337 again, which is about a 50 cent move. It's trading at 337.50 right now. Let's look for today's expiration. 338 puts going for 136. And it's too late. They already jacked those premiums up. My hands just ain't quick enough. They went from 120 to 128. Actually, a little bit lower. 127 to 150 already. I didn't even have enough time to load that put before they jumped it. Damn. Down by 4,000 on the call credits. Jeez. You had a 370 call credit spread and you're still down. Oh my god. Goes to show how crazy the rally on NVIDIA is. That was like 20% out of the money. Damn. It's a crazy, crazy market. Alright, we're back to 45 on the RSI. But we got bought up right as soon as we hit 337. I'd probably set my stop loss down at like 120. They're going for 130, 140 now. Swear, as soon as I want to enter these, everybody just has the same idea and jacks up the price on me. Okay. Nope. There we go. Alright. Probably just do... might do more. They're going for 130 right now. Whoops. 128. They're down to 123, so too close to my stop loss. I'd like to get them at 128. Oh, jeez. Typed in the wrong amount. That would have been crazy. Yeah, I don't think I'll enter it. It's just too close to my stop loss for my comfort. Which could save me money if I use my stop loss, but... did not... Whoops. Did not enter. Well, yet. We do have a range on it. I could increase my stop loss to, or I guess decrease, I should say, my stop loss to 115, which is the lowest that these contracts went with this range that we're in. But now they seem to want to be pushing it up. Closer to 50 on the RSI. So I'm more neutral than it is bearish here. You're getting a decent rise in Microsoft at the moment, up to 322.50. Amazon's recovered some. It was down to 114.30, now back to 115. So seeing a small recovery in the Qs. Now we're back to the top of the range at 338. If we did flush back down, that would be very profitable. But momentum is just uncertain. Yeah, just broke the top of that range too. So yeah, did not enter. Yeah, even Google now is catching a little bit of a bid. It went all the way down to 123, back to 124 now. SPY just went back above 413.50, so that could be a decent trigger to the upside for SPY today. You still have resistance at a little bit higher, but regaining what we lost this morning could be in the cards for us. Back up to 414.75. It's just neutral at 50 RSI. Rejected just above 413.50 for SPY. We're at a 50 RSI, so if it is still bearish today, you could probably get out under 412.50, but still need to wait a little bit here. Let's see what the other indices are doing. The VIX currently up by 4, or down by 4.2%, down to 1919 from above 20 yesterday. IWM is still sinking pretty bad, 174. I guess all the money that was going into small caps the last couple of days when it was above 180, it's going back into the mega caps. Gold is down to 180 for GLD. Kind of liking that trade for long term. Man, Microsoft's really getting eaten up today. Almost back to the highs. 324.50. Yeah, Q's above 337 was a good trade this morning. Mostly being led by Microsoft right now, up 3% today. And then obviously NVDA. Yeah, Microsoft's still looking good on the hourly chart. 61 RSI, so still bullish there. Definitely bullish for the 5-minute chart. 56 R. Actually, that's a little bit less bullish. The daily chart, it's at 67. So got overbought, dipped a little bit, and then getting back to overbought almost. So very bullish looking for Microsoft. Oh, that's Q's. But I think Microsoft's about the same. Yeah. Went overbought, back down to 60 RSI, and then back to 68 right now. What do I think a good short entry is for SPY? For a day trade? It's about 413.50 right now. And back to a new high for the range that we've been in. So probably not a good short entry yet, but maybe closer. Like 414 to 415 and some change, I think would be a good entry point for that. Actually, sorry, 414.20 or so, like right in the middle of this first candle. So entering somewhere between now and 415.25 would be good, I think, for a short position if it does pull back. But right now, it's looking pretty bullish. You're looking at 52 RSI, so just barely above it, but a lot of momentum going into the Qs, which usually ends up in SPY doing well, or at least trading flat. If you're seeing the Dow down like it is right now, 0.3%, then you're just going to get a flat day for SPY typically, or flat or up, depending on how much the Qs rallies. looks like Q's might be getting rejected at 338.50. At least so far. Those puts are definitely cheap now, down to 80 cents. Lowest that they got was 72 cents, but that was very recent, so it's a decent pump going on. 56 RSI. Maybe you want to short it like 60. But you're gonna have to go another strike price higher, it looks like, since it's trading closer to 339 now. Looks like NVDA is kind of running out of fuel, up 25%. It's been just kind of hanging around 380 to 385 for a while, 384. There's a lot of upside potential in this trade, though. If it does end up pulling back to where it was, you can make yourself decent bet. They're trading for 134 before they were going, like 15 minutes ago, they were going for, let's see, 160. So risk reward there is very good. But you are going against momentum at 54 RSI, just barely bullish. Amazon's back below 115 again. But all the other big names up, 2%. Google's up 2%, Microsoft up at 3%, and then NVIDIA 25%. Meta's only up 1.5%. Tesla's only up by 0.5%. And then Apple's only up 0.3%. You really need to see a drop in Microsoft to take this down. I think this is mostly what's leading, with it's up by 3%, and this is a $2 trillion company. Alright, I think I'll get these keys puts with a stop loss at 115. They're going for 130, so very high right now. Will NVDA go higher? I think it's probably just going to be similar to what we saw at a Meta a couple weeks ago, where it just trades flat for a very long time. That's what we're getting so far, at least. So I would think that it would probably hold its gains. Probably not going to reach 400. But obviously just my best guess there. Looking to buy QQQ 339 puts with stop loss at 115. Right now they're going for 120, 119. A little bit expensive for the price that Q's is going for. All right, I'll get them at 121. Open 5 of them at 121. Hopefully we don't hit the stop loss too quick. Alright, yeah, already hit it. Unfortunately. Yep. Sold at 115. So 6, 5, 30 loss. And of course it comes back down after that, but stop loss is a stop loss, so Damn, Microsoft just doesn't want to give up. 324 now. That's probably why Microsoft's going up. They mentioned AI. Microsoft President Brad Smith supports U.S. government plan to form new agency to license AI systems. Throw in AI a couple of times, the algos will buy your stock right back up. Probably going to get a similar situation to what Amazon was a big stock that was up yesterday. It was up like 2%. Microsoft's the big one, up today by 3%. So my guess, probably tomorrow it'll end up pulling back. Maybe not all the way back to the gap at 315, 313, but I would say 317, 318 could be in the cards. $5 drop for Microsoft for a 320 stock. That would be about 1.5%. So not out of the norm, I would think. SPY's doing still pretty well, 413.90. Q's is up almost to 339 again. So yeah, definitely looking good for the Qs right now. A lot of buying momentum going on. So if you see that continuing, I would think that SPY would stay above 413.50 today. That's your support level. If the Qs just keeps on rallying like crazy, it's going to outweigh whatever the Dow brings the SPY down. Right now, the Dow is down 0.2%, so holding the SPY back some, but Qs is just kind of pushing it forward. Yeah, the market's just going back and forth. I mean, if you look at SPX, cash index, this one's just been trading between 4,100 and 4,200 and not really moving anywhere. We had the break above 4,200, but then we lost it the next couple of days. And then for SPY, it's just between 420 and 410. So just going back and forth, like we have been for the past like 6 weeks. The markets are just burning time. No real big moves being made in either direction for 2 months now. Except in obviously the Qs and what we're seeing in big tech. That's where all the rally is coming from. That's pretty much the only reason why SPY is up the last couple of months is because of the big tech names. If it wasn't for those names, you wouldn't see much at all. Probably would even be negative, I would think. Because IWM, I mean, that's not really a good indicator. If we look at, say, the Dow for the past 2 months since the beginning of April, this was trading at 336. Now it's down to 327. But yeah, I think that's all the trading I got for today. Let's see. Microsoft keeps wanting to head higher, above 324 right now, up 3%. Gonna keep on holding that, probably till tomorrow. We'll see how it reacts in the next couple of days, if it pulls back and gives up its gains. But again, that's all the trades for today, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow, Friday at 9:30. See you, everybody.